5, 4, 3, 2.
Hey, Beverly Hills 90210 fans, stop what you're doing right now, because it's time to dive deep into 90 News. All the latest news and rumors coming out of your favorite zip code. With your hosts, Pete Ferrero and Melanie Rose. Oh my God, I can't believe what I just heard.
Well, here we are on 90 News, and we are attempting to broadcast this live into Patreon. I don't know that that's working.
I mean, it says live in the top left, so we've got to assume, live. So, hey, everybody in Patreon.
If it's not,
if you're there,
fuck it. Really. All right, this is an exciting week. We're coming off a really awesome episode of our podcast, talking about hate is just a 4-letter word. And so why don't we bring out one of the participants that discussed that amazing episode with us, of course, Grandpa Charles Rosen, who had a big hand in that, and of course, Larry Don Mullen, who also had a hand in that episode. Guys, it's good to see you.
Hey, guys.
Yes, good morning. Good morning.
On that note, Charles, that was great. Revisiting Janice, Natalie was amazing, and Noah Levy, John Keane was great. Did you guys both enjoy catching up with those two? I thought this was one of our more interesting episodes of our podcast and also of 90210.
Okay, sure. It was. I really enjoyed both players and thought they had a lot to say. I never did get back to Janice about when I was bringing up the difference between Avenue Q and Wicked. Avenue Q, which was a lovely little show, an important show for its time.
Loved that show.
Is not really thought of very often, versus Wicked, an international sensation that kind of defined stagecraft for a generation.
Larry, what did you think of this last week? I thought it was a pretty awesome.
It was kind of like the episode itself. I mean, there's a lot there. It's atypical because the main story, has so many other serious underpinnings about, human nature and just, what do you do about free speech? I mean, these are big issues. And, I don't think it's our most popular episode, but it was really satisfying. And that both Natalie and John were so well spoken and really articulate about what was going on. And it was really a joy to be part of it.
You know what I want to ask you, Charles? We often look back at episodes and we say it's better than what we remembered and all that stuff. And I think this sort of exemplifies that, right? It's so much better, and it's so poignant maybe to what is happening still in this day. Are there ever times when you're looking at an episode of 90210 and you look at a topic that probably, looking all these years later, there should have been some resolve? It should feel outdated that was a big issue back then. Are you sometimes surprised that some of the things that you were talking about then are still being talked about?
You mean that America became a shithole country after?
I think it's depressing.
Is that what you're asking?
Yeah.
Me?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
That was, I think, how we started the episode, with us lamenting the presence of hate. Hate is in full supply. It's a growth industry. And
Chuck, I was going to say, it gave birth to cancel culture. That's the other bad part of the other extreme. Yep. You've got hate, and then you've got the reaction to hate, which is, no, we don't want to hear that. So
all right.
Our show was so much more mature and had a much more solution of the world. And we've really basically gone downhill since 1994, unfortunately, on this issue.
I really think so. Larry and I, when we first met, we weren't always politically simpatico, and still aren't. But the fact of the matter is that these kind of mutual conclusions, like the KKK is bad, Nazis no good.
Yeah,
where did that go? Where did that consensus go? And that every scientist was a liar.
Well, this is the post-truth world we live in. There's no truth.
And so it is really sometimes disheartening to live in the country we live in today, for those of us who were of the liberal persuasion and watched the civil rights movement happen live and marched for women's rights and disability rights and all other rights that now the generations just take for granted and are trying to be undone. Good luck to any one of you who have sexually active daughters and live in the state of Texas. Good
Oh
luck.
my goodness, Texas.
Okay, let's talk about this, Larry. I know this is a very important topic to you. You are the creator of all things America Zipcode, and we love it. We're so excited about it. Now we need to know. We are still looking for some states.
We are.
Let's get serious here now. I mean,
Very
here's where we
serious.
are. We've done really well. We're almost
People
there.
always start off, what does it mean if I'm the representative from America Zip Code? What it means is you are going to represent your state and tell us what it was like watching 90210 in your zip code, wherever that was, in whatever state that you're representing.
Right. And how did the show relate to you? What did you think of Beverly Hills? We want to know your experience of watching the show. And you'll be on a panel with 5 other people at a time and us, and there'll be some mystery guest stars popping in, and it should be a big celebration because it is America's zip code. But
Exactly.
now, again, we're still empty on Iowa. I don't know why.
Okay, I want to tell you that our friend Brad Mikon, is that his name? Do you guys know?
We know Brad.
Yep.
Brad's wonderful. He's a very helpful person. He said that he has, I believe it was Brad. Now it might not be, but somebody had Iowa. And so
Okay.
they're working on Iowa for us. They're going to email us Iowa. So
Let's try to make some
Great.
progress on Iowa. Then we have Mississippi.
it might not be
Yeah.
Brad. Brad would be like, what the fuck?
We got the state of William Faulkner.
Yes. Okay.
It's someone in Oxford.
you sure
I actually got
Wait a
on the
second.
Facebook page in Oxford, Mississippi to try to find people.
Yeah.
Are
What,
you
Chuck?
sure that the show aired in Mississippi?
That's a question that no, Chuck is correct because Fox did not air all over the country. They it
Really?
was selective stations. It was a
Oh, I don't
slew of
think we aired
stations.
our high school episodes there. I'd be very surprised.
Wow.
Well,
Fascinating.
but by now I'm sure Mississippi is aware.
Yes,
Of
so we
90210.
need to hear
hope.
from Mississippi. And
Maybe
like I
not.
said, I was trolling on the Oxford, if you live in Oxford, Mississippi board to see if there were any 90210 fans, but I got nothing. So I figure if anything, it's going to be in Oxford, Mississippi, which is
All right, but I
Good
feel like
choice.
don't we have Arkansas, Alabama, and
Oh,
some
yeah,
of those
absolutely.
around
We're going
here?
alphabetically. Yep. So
No, I'm
next
just
on the
not-
list after Mississippi will be
What I'm
Montana.
saying is, someone in Alabama realistically might have a friend in Mississippi. Doesn't it all roll together?
No,
Well,
the states never talk to each other.
Yeah, I mean, I did ask
They don't
Diana
ever,
Lowe.
ever talk to each other. You know?
So we need Montana. Montana's supposed to be really happening now. I know there's good fans in there. Nebraska, the Cornhusker state. Come on, kids.
I've
let's
tried
go.
there. Oof.
I'd like to get something for sure in Hawaii. We got nothing in Hawaii. It's impossible. And South Dakota, I know you're there. And Wyoming. I've been tracking someone down from Wyoming. I
South
reached out to
Dakota
them.
might be on a Facebook post somewhere. You guys we have to do a
All right,
We'll
this
do
is-
a dive,
this is
and
the way
Facebook.
to-
we
Now-
may have a Jennifer Sturla for Hawaii. She's a
Well, no,
tentative.
Jennifer Sturla was a production assistant who is
Okay.
Hawaiian on 90210. So she didn't grow up
Okay.
watching the show there, but she'll have to stand in. I told her she's going to have to stand in. If she can't deliver somebody, she's going to have to be the
I might
Hawaiian
know
fan.
someone
And she'll
who-
have a lot to say, which is great.
I
What?
just don't know if you watch 90210. This is
Okay.
becoming a thing. These are the states.
Okay.
Are these
and then
states that we
DC,
thought we would have a problem?
DC, Chuck says we should try to save DC, but it's not really a state, and we have no fans.
We do
There's
have
got to be
fans.
somebody out there.
We
There's
just
got to
haven't
be
found
somebody.
them. But
Okay.
Jennifer Sturla, are you telling me that she was an intern on 90210 before she was on Wind on Water?
Yeah,
Oh,
the
okay.
last 2 years.
I forgot.
Yeah, she
that.
was great. She's a great gal, as a filmmaker in her own right, and she'll have a lot to say if we get stuck. Obviously, she's a fan of the show, but she didn't watch it in Hawaii growing up. She was part of it in LA.
Well, I wrote Jennifer's recommendation to go to film school at
Sure.
SC.
Yeah, we all.
She got accepted and made a beautiful short film. I think that Jennifer, if you're listening to this, the reason that you didn't pop afterwards is that the difficulty of your generation as opposed to right now of being a female director.
You're absolutely right.
She showed so much talent. It was hard for me to believe that there wouldn't be so many opportunities. And she has done a lot of things.
I'm not totally sure what she's doing now, but she's a great gal.
She worked
so-
for Sony a lot of years, I think.
Yeah. She was also on the show in Hawaii with Chuck and I, Wind on Water. And DC, Chuck thinks there's somebody there. Wyoming. Anyway, we got to make
South
it. It's going to be
Dakota.
great fun.
I feel
And then
I'm
after-
really in
Utah.
shock over DC. I have to tell you that there are just so many young people that watched 902 in DC, that one feels like we should have someone already. What's happening?
Absolutely. And
What's happening in DC?
Pete, New Jersey, you said that
I
you
got
have
New Jersey.
somebody.
I
Okay,
got-
so I don't have anyone plugged in. We're just trusting you on this one.
Yeah,
So deliver, okay?
Don't worry. I'll get.
Okay.
I have one of 3 people that have all reach out saying that they want to be New Jersey. We'll see how that plays out.
And then
Well, you can have a trio, you know, in the same frame if they want. If they get together.
They might not sing well together. We'll see how.
That could be
but
interesting.
we'll be covering the country from east to west, from 5 to 7 on October 6th, and just getting a sense of that'll unite the country. Maybe we'll do something we couldn't do. The country can't do is we'll unite the country through the zip code.
We are. That is the one state at a time. We're uniting it. Yes, absolutely. All right. So that's America's zip code. I don't know. Maybe on this post, when we post it out everywhere, we can say what states we're still looking for. And again, it's scrolling throughout the bottom here. If you want to be a part of this and you're one of the missing states, Peter at BeverlyHills90210show.com. That is the most efficient way to get yourself selected. If you wrote it on a Facebook post, it's hard for us to find it. If you sent a DM, we can get the DMs.
DMs are okay. DM Media Melanie also. That works.
Yeah. But we're just short 6 states. I might have Hawaii. So I just shot someone a text that grew up in Hawaii. So we'll see.
If someone wants to send me a telegram, it's ROSIN.
Okay, got it. I'll let the pigeon know.
All right. Now, listen, this week coming up is very exciting because it's one of my favorite episodes. Sometimes I think it's my favorite episode of 90210. It's called Unreal World. We're pre-recording it this coming week, so we won't be live. Sorry. But maybe we'll do this. Maybe we'll broadcast it live into Patreon if this worked out for everybody. But it's very cool because the director, David Semmel, is going to be with us. And before we came on, I found out that Joey Slotnick, who was Tuck in that episode, will also be joining the show to talk about his role. Charles, this is definitely a fun episode. What do you remember about Unreal World without giving it all away for what they're going to see this week?
I think we just really had a good time putting this one together and taking the real world was also a major cultural force of the early 90s. So to be able to do our own spin on it, have it be done for a class. And I think the one thing that Larry and I saw one of the times that we watched it together, and really looking forward to hear Dave and Joey talk about this, is that how we really were able to have character relationships be significantly changed in an episode where people were playing other characters and other people. It was actually interesting, and it was one of those standalones as we were moving towards the end of season 5.
Yeah, Larry, what is your recollection on?
Well, as I remember, I wrote it with Meredith Steen, who I think is going to be the president of the Writers Guild. Chuck, she's running unopposed. She can't lose.
Well, then so all those write-ins I wanted aren't going to happen.
But look, it was I love the real world, and the character of Puck on the thing was a kind of an iconic character of, like Chuck said, the early 90s. So it was a chance to kind of throw everything in. But the important thing of the show was we were able to reveal within our own characters, playing other characters, what was really going on. And I think, as I remember, it's the breakup of David and Claire, right?
That is
right. I haven't seen it in a while, but yeah. So it might have even been a sweeps episode too. So it was a promotal episode, and it was Semmel. It totally got the comedy on it, and there's a lot. It has a lot of cool stuff in it, as I remember. I'm looking forward to seeing it.
Yeah,
watch along for this. Watch along on Monday.
We will do a watch along. I will not be on Monday. Thank you for asking that live. We will figure out when we will do the watch along. Larry, we're talking about maybe doing the watch along on Sunday. Is that okay for you?
No, Sunday is football day.
What time did the Patriots play, Larry?
They play 1:25.
Can we do it?
Why can't we do it at 5:30? You want to see the Rams?
Yeah. Well, can we do it? Why don't we do it Tuesday? We have to do it before.
We usually do it before before. We could do it right before.
Instead, you don't like college football.
No, I don't care.
Saturday.
Saturday is fine.
All right. So
I just
Saturday,
11 o'clock. I have a memorial, Zoom memorial I got to do.
Oh.
But
I'm so
Passed
sorry.
away.
Fran McKendry Springer, great rocker of the late 60s and early 70s, was a close friend.
I'm
Oh,
sorry.
I'm sorry for that, Larry.
Sorry about that.
Well, he had died a couple of months ago. This is just
A memorial.
Everyone's doing a thing.
Well, maybe early evening for you, Pete. Late afternoon for us, then, or 1
Late
o'clock
afternoon
our
on
time,
Saturday.
or
Yeah,
yours.
that could be
Saturday,
good.
I'll be
Saturday we're going out to dinner.
I'll be on the West Coast on Saturday, so that's fine.
All right, we're doing Saturday,
Saturday,
1
yeah.
o'clock.
When? This Saturday?
Yeah.
Yes, Saturday.
Tomorrow.
Saturday.
That would be tomorrow.
Tomorrow.
We're supposed to be downtown LA. No, can't do that because we're going to dinner.
We're going to dinner, yes, but we can do this in
Oh,
the
you
morning.
guys are going
1
to dinner?
o'clock in the afternoon.
What time? What time? 1 o'clock? Oh,
Yeah,
1 o'clock?
o'clock.
Oh,
Yes.
that's fine. That's good. 1 o'clock's good. I thought you
I'll
said
see you
late
tomorrow.
afternoon.
Yes,
1
we're
o'clock
going
is
to the
good.
concert.
So tomorrow we're going to do the watch along 1 o'clock. Gotcha.
All right. So this is going to be fun. We're very much looking forward to Unreal World. I think it will be pre-recorded. So that there is that. So get your questions in now, and we will make sure that we get them all answered. I do remember about this that Claire looked really good and was a director. So it's like sort of awesome to see. Okay, Charles and Larry. I think that's it for you guys, right, Melanie? Are we letting them off the hook?
We're out.
It is. Yep. We've got some other news, but we'll cover it after we say goodbye.
Okay. All the news that's
Tomorrow.
fit and lit.
All right.
All right. Have a good weekend, guys.
Goodbye. Take care, guys.
Bye.
All right. So that was
So
fun.
Are you going out to dinner with Larry this weekend? Is that what I gathered from that convo, or is that?
Are you jealous?
No, I mean, hey, I got to see you guys a couple weeks ago. I just, I like to know what you guys are up to.
No,
that's
yeah.
all.
Larry and I are going to see a concert. My wife and I are going, and it should be very exciting. We're going with Larry and his wife. We're going to go to dinner. It's a whole thing in downtown
He was
LA.
talking about that when we got together. I think it's a female recording artist, maybe country pop or
It is.
something. I don't. Is that
is.
okay? Cool.
Yes.
Very nice.
My wife
Have fun.
initially did not want to go to this event and
Oh.
said, "Why don't you ask one of your 90210 friends?" So I invited Lisa, and she declined. So
Oh, okay.
dude, you
I
can't-
would have gone if I lived in LA. You know that. You
I
know
know,
I'd be
we
there,
would be-
right?
we're ride or die like that. We would be
We're
drinking.
geographically challenged right now, Pete.
Okay, so there's a whole bunch of fucking news here. Let's see.
Lots of news. Lots of
Um,
news. It's been 2 weeks since our last show, so here we are.
All right, let's
Throw
talk-
them at me, Pete. Throw them at me.
Hold
I'm
up. I mean,
ready.
because right off the bat, but I don't know if this is the right one.
We should start with the big news. Yes, this
Yeah.
is the big news. And thanks to Maggie for sharing this with me, like right when the news dropped. Of course, our friend Brian Austin Green is going to be on season 30 of Dancing with the Stars. There is a voting aspect, so everybody should be watching and voting. And Brian is actually the 4th cast member of Beverly Hills 90210 to be on this show. Some of the people joining him, Mel C of the Spice Girls. We've got some people from Bachelor. We've got an interesting one, Amanda Klutz and Olivia Jade, who are I guess Olivia is the daughter of Lori Loughlin from the College Scandal.
Oh,
so
shit.
that's interesting.
Oh shit.
Jimmy Allen. Ooh, The Miz is going to
Yeah.
be on, who I loved from the challenge on MTV years ago. Like The Miz,
you know that he's
like
had a
back
whole
in the day.
career as a WWF
Wrestling career.
wrestler.
Yes, I don't
Yeah,
like
okay.
wrestling, but I loved his persona on the challenge on MTV. So
I mean,
that'll
that's
be
pretty
kind of
much-
fun to watch him. Yeah.
We're going to definitely be getting out the vote for Brian, and I know that we're going to be, rallying our troops of the Beverly Hills 90210 show podcast to make sure that we get out there and root for him. Now, I just want to point out this thing to you here. You know what I find irritating about Maggie's post? If I'm just being totally honest.
Tell me, Pete, what's irritating?
Okay.
Is that there's the
What the
opaque
fuck?
Maggie?
Why does
opaque-
hashtag Jason Priestley, Brandon Walsh, hashtag what does that trigger a result for this thing? Like it's
Well,
about,
it definitely
it's about Brian.
Right, but it expands reach to those who are fans of the show. So that way people that follow those other related hashtags will still see this
Okay.
post. So it's actually
I'm wrong.
strategic on Maggie's part to include them because the reach will serve those people that are connected with the show so they can see it.
Good job, Maggie.
Yes.
Yeah,
Good job.
I like fucking with Maggie. Okay, so because she can handle it.
Yeah, totally. Thick
Okay.
skin. She's a New Yorker. She's got this. Right?
Totally. She's
Right.
she's another one that's supposed to see me. I'm going to be in New Jersey next week.
Oh, that'll be so fun. Oh my God, I'm jealous. I would love to meet all the people that I talk to regularly that I've never met in person before.
She hasn't talked about it.
Speaking of like shit, like, yo, shut the fuck up. Rory Karff had a message that he wanted me to share on the next episode of 90 News.
Okay.
Would you like me to read it word for word?
Yes.
On the next 90 News, please mention that I think Pete is a total piece of shit. And I know it's just obviously in a fun way, but
yeah, I
promised him I would mention it because he's actually helped with some of the states for the America Zipcode show. Thank you, Rory. So he wanted me to pass that message along. So check. You're welcome, Rory.
It's amazing. I love Rory so much. But you know what's hilarious is we were sitting at a bar, me and you, a couple of weeks ago when we did the Dodger game, and you were like, something about Rory Karff's birthday.
I'm like, it's so cute. You guys are birthday twins.
And I talked to Rory Karff all day that day, and I never once said happy birthday to him. And
not once.
Previously, he had already told me that it was his birthday too. And I'm just a fuck up when it comes to things like that. And I'm usually so good with birthdays and shit. So
are you? Do you pride yourself on that sort of thing? Because I don't know. I'm not sure. I'm not sure. That's all I'm saying.
I knew Kathleen's birthday.
Well, she's your TV crush.
That's right. And I know yours is in January.
No, actually, it's June 25th. You're totally wrong. And you told me you saved it under my contact in your phone so you wouldn't forget next year. So I'm holding you to June 25th. That is my birthday. Do not forget it, Pete.
I will never forget it. We did didn't we do a big show?
We did. It was great.
Wow, this 90 News is just
really veering off topic wildly, but that's okay.
I think people like this about 90 News. You know, okay.
I mean, I think so. I love sitting and talking.
Now let me ask you, what the fuck is happening with this? What is this?
All right. Oh my goodness. Okay, so when this story first broke, my friend Dana sent the TMZ article to me. There's been a lot of comparison between Tori Spelling and Khloe Kardashian. Now, if you look at Tori on the left, she very much resembles Khloe Kardashian and some other pics that Khloe's posted. So she basically said, it's a real honor to be compared to Khloe Kardashian. Of course, they're both very beautiful. And this was just a great picture. So it gained a little bit of attention just with her look being similar to Khloe's look. So thought we'd share that.
It's a fascinating topic.
It is, and you notice Maggie's comment there, the surgery smurgery. That's been a little bit of the discussion, people criticizing her for surgery, but who cares? She's beautiful, whatever.
Tori is also a beautiful person, like just
inside and out.
Yeah, so I mean, every dealing I've had with Tori Spelling has just been authentic and wonderful, and she's so sweet. And I will tell you this about my interactions with Tori Spelling: she cares about all of her fans more than probably anybody. I mean, and I know they all care. So I don't mean to just like make it bigger or something, but I've had a couple of conversations with her, and she cares about 90210 so much and how it's represented and how her dad is represented and all that stuff. And she is one of the most authentic people she's authentically Tori. And
she is. And when I was on the phone with her during our super show last October, I mean, you could just feel how frustrated she was because she had issues with her Wi-Fi and signal, and she was trying everything to get on and talk. And you could tell that, it really affected her and that she really wanted to be there and,
to me, stories like this, while I get it, it's what we're looking for these days. I just think she's an amazing person. So that's what I think about it.
Same.
Okay.
Definitely. Oh, that's cute. So Jason's birthday was August 28th, and a few of his cast members from 90210 shared photos, such as this one by Jenny Garth, an oldie but a goodie. I believe Ian also shared a photo of him and Jason. There we are. Happiest of birthdays. And of course, we've got Darren Martin commenting there. Of course, Pete Ferrero likes this post.
Yes.
What a bunch of good-looking bros.
I mean, listen, it was Jason's birthday. I know hope he had a great birthday. I don't know if he did or not. But I hope he did. He's a great guy. He's a friend of the show. He's always so sweet and wonderful to us. So, all the best there. And, yeah.
Oh, little fur twins. Yeah. Very cute.
Okay. Let's see this.
Instagram picture from Shannon, of course, asking, is it acceptable to have photos of yourself hanging above bed in guest bedroom, asking for a friend? And put up one more time. I loved Melissa's comment there. When you're the queen badass, abso-fucking-lutely. I am so with you, Melissa.
Amazing. I think Shannon's incredible.
I mean, she really is.
Okay.
Gotta love it.
Okay, so here's Goose.
Aw, I'll let you take this one, Pete.
What do you mean? This is Kathleen. It was Dog Day or something like that,
Yes,
right?
it was.
I mean, there's so many of these fucking days, by the way. It is so hard to keep track, but it was Dog Day, and this is Goose. So you have Matilda here too?
Yep, there's
Yes,
another one with
you do.
Matilda.
There's
Yep,
Matilda.
there we
Yeah,
go.
these are
Cuties.
Kathleen's very
And
adorable
she
dogs.
adopted them. I'm a huge proponent of adopt, don't shop. And I love that she shares that mindset, and good for her. And for anybody out there thinking of adding a furry family member, adopt. Don't
I do
shop.
want to say something about Kathleen this week. I've been thinking about
This week. Okay.
well, it's going to be like one of those office references where it takes a minute to get to arrive to the point.
Okay.
This week in the Patreon, Thaddy, our friend Thaddy from Brazil,
Ooh, Brazil.
she's
Love
had a
that.
very difficult week.
Oh,
And
no.
her grandfather died. So
Aw.
why would this have anything to do with Kathleen? But just trust me on this.
Okay.
And so I think she took great comfort in being in the Patreon and talking with all of us and being able to get some stuff off of her chest and, be with us. And the one thing about this podcast that it makes me so happy, beyond talking about all the stories and meeting all the fans, is to give them this sort of platform. And the Patreon is that, and all of it is all of the interaction, whether it's a DM,
Social
or
media, all of it.
talking to Justina or whomever, or Lisa or all of them. I genuinely, Christelle's amazing.
Kelly Parker, Kristen.
Kelly Parker is one of my favorite people in the world, though she's been dissing us for the last month.
She's a busy girl, man.
Kristen McIsaac as well. Sherry Weiss is a friend, so
Yep,
it's been
lots of
really
fun.
wonderful. I don't mean to not shout someone out here. You're all amazing. So
We love you all.
even some of the dudes, Jason and Caitlin Hicks, who did so much for us, even though no relation.
Yes.
And so I am that really makes me very happy that has happened and all that has happened. But what this show has done for me is allowed me to become a great friend to someone who I really liked in Kathleen Robertson. And that is something for me, like what the show has done for the fans, for them and for us, it's done it for me too, because she is truly one of my great friends. And it came from this podcast and the wanting her on the show and all that stuff. And she's just a super cool person. And I'm just really grateful that I know her and that she's in my universe. So I don't say that enough here. And I just wanted to make a point of that this week. So beyond how cute her dogs is or how good she looks in all of the episodes, I just think she's an amazing person. Okay,
Yes.
This is where the music would start.
Oh boy.
The Academy Award music where they were running me off the stage.
I love that. That's my favorite part of award shows.
Mine
I
too.
wish they had like the cane. They could just pull people off. That would be really funny.
Okay. That speaking of indulgent, that was very indulgent.
Just a little bit.
Okay. Speaking of not indulgent person.
Not indulgent. Oh, this is cute. So that is Gabby and her husband, Charlie. They are just such a good looking couple. Been together a long time, and just thought I'd share this pic of them. She shared it on her Instagram a few days ago. Love you,
She's
Gabby.
awesome. Love Gabby. Love you so much. Can't wait to have you back on the show for something. Hopefully maybe the Zipcode show. That would be
Mm-hmm.
a lot of fun. What is this, Melanie?
Oh, you know what? This was a video that Brian posted on his Instagram. I guess he's going to be doing a John Bronco Rides Again show on Hulu on 9/13. Actually, maybe it's a movie, documentary. So that should be interesting. I am not familiar with John Bronco from the days of old. I guess Brian first met him when they did a movie together in 1982. Also taught him how to shave with an axe. Wow, that's hot. Anyway, they'll be sharing the screen 9/13 on Hulu. So we will watch. That is only 3 days away. and we'll share our
But
thoughts.
also, back to Brian being on Dancing with the Stars. That's
Yep.
also happening very soon, right?
Premieres Monday, September 20th, 8, 7 Central, and the episode stream the next day on ABC and on Hulu. So very cool. September 20th. That's only 10 days away. And he's got he was working on Pacerville before, filming up in Sacramento. I'm still not sure when that airs, but that's another thing just to keep on the radar for Brian. He is
Got a lot of stuff
busy
going on.
guy.
Yeah, got a lot of stuff going on. Yep.
Yes.
Talked to him the other day. He's doing well.
Nice.
Okay, so let's see how this is. What is the fuck?
Oh, you know what? Becky Wester sent this one in. This was Christopher Knight, of course, from the Brady Bunch. And you may see a familiar face in there. Pete, do you spot the familiar face?
Oh, is that Catherine Cannon?
It sure is.
Yeah,
I guess they were all together celebrating a benefit for the Festival of the Arts and Pageant of the Masters in Laguna Beach. And Becky
That's
Wester
amazing.
sent this in. I know, right? So random. I thought it was
Catherine
cool to share. So
Cannon
thank you,
Butler.
Becky, for sharing this.
Yeah, so she's. You know what's funny about Catherine Cannon Butler? She's way nicer than Felice Martin.
Way nicer. She's always been so endearing and so great to have on the show. Totally different than her character on screen. So yeah.
I mean, maybe people in her world would be like, no. But for us,
I highly doubt it. She definitely
so
seems
sweet.
like
She's
the sweetest.
She's so lovely. Yeah.
Yep.
I hope that we get to have her on again. There hasn't been too much, like Unreal World. She's in for like a minute. You know what I mean? So yeah, it's like Catherine's birthday is on September 6th. Okay. All right, what the fuck is
Okay, here we go. So Lifetime just dropped the announcement with times for their fall lineup of movies. And of course, Shannon Doherty is in 2 of them. One of them aired last night, October 9th, called Dying to Belong. And today, October 10th, her other movie, List of a Lifetime, is going to be on Lifetime. I believe that she directed this List of a Lifetime one. We had covered that before, but I'm going to actually watch both, check them out, and then we can report back and share our thoughts. Yep.
And listen, I'm going to tell you now, we are definitely going to be helping Brian as much as we possibly can with this and getting out his vote. So we will cover it on the news. We'll cover it on our podcast. We'll be trying to do as much as we possibly can. So, and that's something he asked us to do, by the way. That's just something that we want to do because we want to see Brian continue and do well on the show. And he's going to be awesome, you know?
Oh my God, his dance moves. I mean, I cannot wait. I, of course, loved watching him as a panelist on The Masked Dancer, but it's going to be really fun seeing him as a participant on Dancing with the Stars. It's going to be great.
Is there anything else that you want me to talk about in terms of Kathleen Robertson or Claire Arnold? Did you think I
think we covered that well, but one thing I did want to do was just go through the list again of people that we need for America's Zip Code. But I'm very confident that all of our viewers are very hyper aware of your friendship and thoughts on Kathleen and Claire. Both of those.
They're one and the same sometimes.
Okay.
So these are the states that we're still looking for: Iowa, Mississippi, Montana, Nebraska, South Dakota, Utah, Wyoming, DC,
and potentially Hawaii. We're unsure of Hawaii, but if there's a Hawaii watching, you didn't, because I didn't call it out because we may have somebody, but we're not sure.
Have someone for Hawaii.
Okay.
Just a matter of her schedule. Okay, so it's Peter@BeverlyHills90210show.com. You need to send us an email there so that we can add you if you're in one of these states. Listen,
so Pete can forward it to me and I can add it to our master spreadsheet, which I've got in front of me.
Now also, in regards to this, again, I really need to encourage all fans to get the word out. So if you might know somebody in Iowa, you might know somebody in Mississippi, Montana, Nebraska, South Dakota, Utah, whatever, hit them up and say, hey, they're doing this podcast thing. We need your help. They want to have a fan come on their podcast, and we'll deal with it all from there. But just spread the word. Everybody just fucking spread the word. Put it on your social medias. These are the states we're looking for. Copy and here, smile. Look at the screen. Screen grab that, post it in your stories, and let's get that done.
Yes.
Okay.
Love that.
That is done now. This is the end of this episode. We have covered 90 News the best that we could. And I have nothing further.
Yeah, we'll be back in a couple weeks. Remember, email Pete if you can help us with one of these states. You could also DM at Media Melanie on Instagram if you would like. Either way, just get in touch. Let us know. We need to fill these gaps. Our big show's coming up in less than a month on October 6th. For everybody that we do have confirmed, expect an email from me sometime over the next week. We've been waiting to get all the states before we send out an email. So be on the lookout for that. And with that, hope everyone has a great weekend. And 9021 out.